people say, what's the solution? Well, I'm not interested in solutions. I'm interested in removing the cause of the problem, because that is the solution. You can constantly look for solutions to a problem. And what solutions normally do, see politics, is lead to more and more problems, which need more and more solutions, which lead to more problems. If you're going to break the cycle, then you have to remove the cause of the problem. And if you remove the cause of the problem must disappear because its cause is gone. And the problem, and you look right the way through human history, the problem with humanity, which is why the few have always controlled the many, I don't care what the culture is, I don't care what the historical era is, it's the same, is because the many give their power to the few in the form of acquiescence. And that is how the few have always controlled the many. And if we didn't do that, the few have no power over us. So if someone comes out of Downing Street or the White House and says, we've had a discussion, they do it all the time these days, and this is what's going to happen. If enough of the population say, we're not doing that, then they have no power. There's not enough of them to impose it. I'll give you an example. When the COVID era started and the first lockdown started, people went under house arrest meekly because they thought, well, we've got to do this to protect ourselves from the virus. And at that point, only a few people were protesting, made it dead easy. Along came the police, arrested them, and away you went. But as the summer unfolded of 2020, more and more people started to question it. This doesn't make sense. There's a lot of things that don't make sense here. And so I spoke in two events in Trafalgar Square in August and September of 2020, which I got about 40,000 people. And the police tried to come the brutal route on the second one, but there were too many people to just drive people away. And then by the spring, after another lockdown through the winter, hundreds of thousands of people walking through the streets of London. I've been on most of them. And instead of the police coming and arresting people and breaking it all up, they stand on the side of the road and watch the people go by, because there's too many people for them to do anything about it. Now, that is a visual expression of how we bring an end to this. We stop cooperating with our own enslavement. You know, through this whole period, I've never worn a mask, I've never social distanced. I will go out of my house when I choose, thank you very much. And I've not done any of it. I thought, this is nonsense. I can show it's nonsense. I'm not cooperating. And what's happened through this period up to present day is more and more people have realized there's a scam going on because it's become more and more obvious. They have to now refuse to cooperate with the system. It doesn't need violence, just say no and mean it, because the next lockdown is meant to be the last one, not meant to come out of it. And if people want to see the vaccine agenda, look to Israel. We want to see the Orwellian agenda in terms of lockdown, look to Australia, because that's the blueprint. They're the two blueprints. And so we stand up now and stop cooperating, or we acquiesce to fascism, which is what's planned. And I've said it in the books for 30 bloody years.